They say David never beats Goliath. They say 156,000 people cannot compete with nations of millions. On November 18th, 2025, a tiny Caribbean island proved them all wrong. This is the story of Curaçao, the smallest nation ever to qualify for a World Cup. Curaçao, a name that sounds like a cocktail. 444 square kilometers of coral and dreams. A former Dutch colony that gained autonomy in 2010, but the ties to the Netherlands remained, especially in football. Dutch football cannot be understood without its Caribbean sons. Gullit, Rijkaard, Seedorf, Kluivert, all children of the diaspora. But what if those scattered sons came home? What if they united under one flag? Not orange, but blue. FIFA rules allow players without senior caps to switch teams. Curaçao began recruiting Dutch-born players with Caribbean roots. Joshua Brenet, who once played a qualifier for the Netherlands. Tahith Chong, one of the few actually born on the island. Juninho Bacuna, Huddersfield, Rangers, Birmingham. Dutch training, Caribbean hearts. But scattered talent needs a leader. Enter Dick Advocaat, 78 years old, the man who took the Netherlands to the World Cup quarter-finals in 1994. His philosophy was simple. If we don't win, make sure we don't lose. No romance. Results. The road began in the shadows. Haiti, St. Lucia, Aruba, Barbados. Names no one would remember if Curaçao had stumbled. But they didn't stumble. They marched. By the final round, Group B awaited. Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago, Bermuda. Jamaica had World Cup history. Curaçao had 156,000 people and a 78-year-old coach. October 10th. Jamaica arrived as favorites. They left humiliated. 2-0. Curaçao sat top of the group. Then came Bermuda away. What happened was annihilation. 7-0. 7. The Bacuna brothers. Paulina with a brace on debut. Everyone joined the party. The largest victory in Curaçao's history. Now, one match remained. In Kingston, Jamaica's fortress. A draw would be enough. Then disaster struck. 2 days before the match, Advocaat flew home. Family reasons.
It's a very difficult decision to have to leave the boys here. I had to make this decision with a heavy heart, but family is more important than football. From the Netherlands, I will stay in close contact with the staff, and I have complete confidence in this group of players. Dick Advocaat.
The architect would not see his masterpiece completed. Kingston. 20,000 Jamaicans hungry for redemption. In the away section, maybe 200 fans. 2 chartered planes from Curaçao. Captain Leandro Bacuna had spoken of a premonition. I had a dream about it. I want it done and dusted. The match was torture. Jamaica pushed. Curaçao absorbed. Jamaica hit the woodwork. The clock crawled toward 90. 91st minute plus 2. Contact. Referee Ivan Barton points to the spot. Penalty. The stadium explodes. A hand to the earpiece. VAR. No penalty. The impossible dream survived. 4 more minutes of agony. Then the whistle. 0-0. The most beautiful goalless game in Curaçao's history. On the pitch, grown men wept. In the away section, 200 fans sang Douchy Blow, Sweet Blue, until they had no voice left. 156,000 people going to the World Cup. In the Netherlands, Dick Advocaat watched on television. Certainly the craziest thing I've ever achieved, he said. At 78, he would become the oldest manager in World Cup history. But more importantly, he had given a tiny island the world. The streets of Willemstad exploded. The government declared a half-day holiday. L'Équipe called it the miracle of Curaçao. The World Cup final will be at MetLife Stadium. Capacity 82,500. More than half of Curaçao's entire population. And now the dream has a date. June 2026. Curaçao will walk out at the World Cup for the very first time, drawn in Group E alongside Germany, Côte d'Ivoire and Ecuador. On the 14th of June, in the heat of Houston, a nation of 156,000 will stand toe-to-toe with the four-time champions. One island against the world. This isn't a story that ended with qualification. It's a story that's just beginning. A blank page waiting for new heroes in blue. Curaçao, the impossible dream that learned how to fly. If you felt the goosebumps, if you believe in football miracles, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell, because the greatest stories are still being written.